my tiny little 6-pound, 6-ounce warrior underwent heart surgery, and it was successful. And she was a miracle. She represented everything that we look at, that life is the greatest gift. And I felt super blessed. I felt like God walked with her. I felt all the excitement and the happiness and all those amazing things that you feel when you bring a brand new baby home. And then 5 weeks later, that gift was taken away. So on July 21st, 2010, in the wee hours of the morning, I held my daughter Ava for the very last time. And as I held her, I begged. And I said, God, please don't take my baby. Please don't take her. And my prayer was not answered. And no amount of pleading was going to bring her back to life. So when Ava died, my entire world was shattered. And it was not just my world. It was a lot of people's worlds. Lives were altered. Multiple relationships were totally destroyed. And I drowned in an ocean of grief. And while I was drowning in an ocean of grief, I was trying to figure out why this happened, what went wrong. And because of that, everybody around me didn't want to talk about Ava. They were afraid they were going to make me cry. They were going to make me sad. When the truth is, my sorrow existed, whether they wanted to talk about it or not. So because of this, I went on, and I went on, and it physically hurt to breathe when you lose a child. It hurt to eat. It hurt to wake up every single morning, and the first thought in my head is, my child is dead. And this didn't just last 3 months. It didn't just last a year. It didn't even last 3 years. This lasted 7 years. And every morning for 7 years, I woke up and I pasted a smile on my face for the entire world to see, to say that everything was okay. And every night when I got home, I would close my door, and the brokenness that I was all I had left to give to my family. I can't tell you how it really feels to lose a child, and it is not something I would ever wish on another human being. It is a moment that you never forget, that is forever seared into your heart and soul. And I lost many things. No one told me that grief was one little facet of what you feel after you lose a child, and it was one of many things that I would lose as a result of losing her. So because I spent all that time in such suffering and emotional pain, and I had no one to talk to, and I had no one who would sit there and listen to that kind of pain, I became very ill. I became so ill that I couldn't work. I couldn't parent my children. I ended up leaving my spouse, who also couldn't handle the amount of grief, and sought other things to numb that pain. So I was left with no money. I lost my home. I had no health. I couldn't parent my children, and I had no spouse. So just before Ava's 7th birthday, it was early spring 2017, I went out to the woods, and I went out super early in the morning, 5 a.m. Nobody's around. It's total silence. And it's the kind of spring morning where nothing has thawed, everything's a little crunchy, and I'm walking, and every step I take is echoing through the silence. And I started to ask questions that I've never asked before. My questions were, how much does a person have to lose before they lose all hope? And my next question was, how long does it take to live in suffering before you lose the will to live? And I stood there in the middle of the forest, and I stopped, and I closed my eyes, and I listened. And there was a little voice inside me, and it whispered, and it said, 7 years it takes to lose that. And I looked up in the sky, and I said, God, turn around and I walked out of those woods, and in that moment I knew. I finally had a sense of peace. 7 years it took me of no peace. I had peace knowing that I didn't have to do this anymore. I had peace knowing that I was leaving those woods and had made the decision that I was going to let myself die because I just couldn't do it anymore. 2 days after this, I received a message on my phone. And this message really shocked me. It said, "Your daughter has been coming to me crying, and they're telling me that you gave up." Now, I told no one that I gave up. The only person that was in that conversation in the middle of that forest at 5 a.m. was me and God. So over the next few weeks and months, this woman and I continued this conversation. And she would tell me multiple things, both from my daughter Ava and my grandmother June, both who have been dead for quite some time now. And the things that she told me were things that I had hid in the deepest, darkest wells of my soul, that I revealed to no one, that I spoke to no one about. And one of the first things that she did for me, this woman, bless her heart, for being that vessel for me and stepping out of her comfort zone to do that, was she gave me a letter from my daughter. And this was a love letter in Ava's own words. And I want to share with you what this said, and you'll understand how all of this gets pieced together. So this letter started with, "Mommy, I love you so much that it hurts. I understand how you feel and how you think about me every day. Your health problems are a manifestation of losing me, and the pain and the grief that you feel is deep inside you, and it's eating away at you. You must choose to live. You must choose to live for my brother and my sister. It is not your time to be here with me. You must learn how to do this. I am right beside you, and you must know, Mommy, this truly was part of the divine plan, as hard as this was on you and on Daddy. Celebrate me. Do not mourn me. I am literally right beside you. I am loving you. I am playing with you. And I am very much a part of this family, and I always will be. And when you look up at the sky and you hear the song, I Believe I Can Fly, know that I will be with you, and I'm smiling down on you." The last thing she said, she's a bit of a jokester. She said, "Mommy, you helped me fix my broken heart, and now I'm going to fix your broken heart." And then she said, "Laugh, Mommy, because that's actually kind of funny." And it's true. She said, "I'm going to be with you every step of the way. We're all going to be with you every step of the way. It's time for you to live and love and laugh again. Love, Ava." So that was the point that I decided it wasn't okay to give up. That was the point that I suddenly understood that the why didn't matter, because I actually hadn't lost her. And not only had I not lost her, she was always beside me. She was always talking to me. It was a question of whether or not I was going to listen, if I was going to get quiet enough, if I was going to be open enough to allow her in. And now I know that every day I'm walking, and everyone that I ever loved is standing behind me, and they're cheering me on, and they're standing on the stage with me, and they're picking me up when I don't think I can take another step. And that everybody has this, that there is life after death, and death maybe isn't the thing that we've labeled it as. My daughter's death broke me, but her life after death is what saved me. And I am forever grateful for the gift of the happiness that I have